streets of Angel Grove will be safer thanks to these fine young people.
Way to go, guys!
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 unexpected Power Rangers plot twists.
Dad.
For this list, we'll be looking at the surprises nobody saw coming in the Power Rangers franchise. We'll be looking at both the TV series and the comics. Be prepared to morph into massive spoilers ahead. Which Ranger moment threw you for a loop? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, The Dark Side of Anton Mercer, Power Rangers Dino Thunder. From the moment he first showed up, there was something that felt off about Anton Mercer. Over time, we learned the twisted and shocking truth. After an experiment with dinosaur DNA went horribly wrong, Mercer became one half of the big bad Mesogog. The scientist was then doomed to be a prisoner in his own body in a horrific Jekyll and Hyde scenario.
Control it. Before he controls me.
At one point, he even turned one of his old colleagues into the merciless warrior Zeltrax. Worst of all, he put his son Trent into an unfortunate predicament by making him keep this all secret from the other Rangers. It was only when Mercer and Mesogog were fully separated that he and Trent were finally free from this Jurassic nightmare. Number 19, Mr. Hartford's Little Secret, Power Rangers Operation Overdrive.
Say what you want about Operation Overdrive, this plot twist definitely caught our attention. Halfway through the season, it's foreshadowed that there's more to Mac than meets the eye. A secret that not even he knows. Turns out that Mac isn't really human.
Dad?
He's actually an android that Mr. Hartford had built 2 years prior and implanted with false memories.
That's impossible. I gotta be dreaming this one.
He's telling you the truth, Master Mac.
Naturally, Mac is devastated, and his relationship with his so-called father is strained beyond belief. Thankfully, it's not enough to make him call it quits as a Ranger. Android or not, Mac displayed more humanity than most, and it was only fitting that he received the real boy ending in the season finale.
You're alive. It's Mac.
Yeah, I'm alive. I can feel my heart racing at a mile a minute. Wait. I can feel my heart.
Number 18, The Titanium Ranger's Identity, Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. The mysterious Titanium Ranger caused a lot of trouble for the Lightspeed Rescue Rangers. For a time, they had no idea who this antagonist was. However, everything changed when Captain Mitchell recognized who the Ranger really was in the middle of a fight. The leader was horrified to discover that his long-lost son, Ryan, had been under the helmet all along. As it turns out, Captain Mitchell made a deal with the demons to save his child's life years ago. In exchange, the villains took Ryan in and raised him to believe that his father never truly loved him.
I've been told. You didn't care what happened to me.
That's not true.
Although Ryan didn't want to believe the truth, he eventually learned to accept it and became a reliable ally. Number 17, the A Squad shows their true colors, Power Rangers SPD. Originally, the A Squad Rangers were considered the model heroes at SPD. That's why it was a shock when the team went missing at the beginning of the season.
That was the last communication with the A Squad, and we were not able to establish their location.
Upon their return from being MIA for most of the SPD story, it looked like they would become top heroes again. But it didn't take long before they revealed their true colors. It turned out that they had joined up with the villains while they were away.
You'll be coming with us, Commander Kruger. You have an appointment with Emperor Grum.
Normally, a Ranger has to be brainwashed to join the forces of evil. But the A Squad did it on their own because they wanted more power. Fortunately, the team of double-crossers was no match for the true heroes at SPD, the B Squad Rangers.
You can't do this to us. We're the A Squad.
Looks like you've been demoted.
Number 16, Lord Zed's Origin, Boom Studios' Mighty Morphin. In the original series, Rita made a joke about how Lord Zed became hideous after trying to get the Zeo Crystal.
He's right, Daddy! He tried to get the Zeo Crystal once, and look what happened to Zeddy's face!
The Boom Studios comics took that idea and added an even bigger twist to it. It turns out that Zed was once Zordon's mentor. Back then, the big bad was known as Zofram, the Supreme Guardian of Eltar. While trying to protect the Zeo Crystal, he touched it. Its magic transformed him into the corpse-like being we know today. While his body mostly recovered, Zofram's mind was twisted and broken. He then fell deeper down the path of darkness and became an Emperor of Evil. Zordon and Zed's conflict feels a lot more grim once you learn that they were once brothers in arms. Number 15. The Curse of Zanaku, Power Rangers Wild Force.
Zanaku definitely put the Wild Force Rangers through the ringer, but it was clear that he was so much more than just a powerful Duke Org. He was actually once human. 3,000 years ago, he was an Animarian warrior named Merrick, who harnessed the power of a cursed wolf mask to defeat the original Master Org. Unfortunately, the mask took over and turned Merrick into the Duke Org, with few memories of his past life, but a thirst for answers.
By using that power, I was cursed. Couldn't remove the mask. I became Zanaku.
Thankfully, the Rangers managed to break the curse, and Merrick was free to fight alongside them as the Lunar Wolf Ranger.
All right!
Unbelievable! What?
Not another Ranger!
Unfortunately, some forces of evil just don't know when to call it quits.
You! So, we meet again.
Number 14. Enter the White Ranger, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. On one fateful day, Billy made a startling discovery in the command center. Zordon was creating a brand new White Ranger, but neither he nor the audience knew who would hold the morpher.
This is incredible.
There were a few red herrings placed throughout the season that hinted at who the new teammate could be. When the big day arrived, everyone was shocked to find that former Green Ranger Tommy was the new White Ranger.
Guess who's back? I don't believe it.
At the time, we thought Tommy's Ranger career was finished after he lost his Green Ranger powers. That's why seeing him remove his helmet as the White Ranger made several jaws drop. Kimberly was even so shocked that she fainted.
I must be dreaming. Is it really you?
In the flesh.
Number 13. Master Org destroyed the Red Ranger's family. Power Rangers Wild Force. Master Org's backstory was full of morbid twists. For starters, it turns out that he was once a human named Dr. Adler who hid his true self from his minions. Not only that, but he used to be close to Richard and Elizabeth Evans. That duo happened to be the late parents of Cole, the Red Ranger. After becoming bitterly jealous of the couple's love, Adler vowed to get revenge on them.
We can't attack the Titanium Ranger.
But he'll destroy the city.
This is an emergency. We've got to do something.
When he turned himself into an Org, he got his revenge in the worst possible way.
Listen up!
None of you are going...
Neither Cole nor the audience could believe their ears when they heard that the Red Ranger's missing parents were permanently lost thanks to Master Org.
Sir. Good morning, staff.
Number 12. Lianbo, Power Rangers Mystic Force. Unlike the other baddies in the underworld, Korag prided himself in being an honorable warrior. But where did that sense of virtue come from? As it turns out, Korag was once a brave and honorable wizard named Lianbo. He was also Ranger mentor Udana's husband. During the Great Battle, Lianbo put himself on the line to help seal away the forces of darkness.
Lianbo led the fight and banished the armies of the darkness to the underworld.
That's why everyone thought he was gone for good. In reality, he was corrupted by dark magic and transformed into the Nightwolf with no memory of his past life. Thankfully, Lianbo was eventually freed from Korag's influence and returned to the side of good as the Wolf Warrior.
Magical source! Mystic force! Burning heart of fire! Wolf warrior! Defender of truth!
Number 11. I will be known as Lothor, Power Rangers Ninja Storm. While on a mission in the past, Cam encounters the younger version of his father, Sensei Watanabe. Unfortunately, he also meets his dad's treacherous twin brother, Kia.
Watch what you say, brother. One shouldn't make accusations without proof to back them up.
Enough!
Cam wipes the floor with the twisted sibling. Before Kia is banished into space, he gives himself a new name, Lothor.
From now on, I will take the name of the ancient warrior of evil. From this point forward, I will be known as Lothar.
That shocking line of dialogue meant that the past Sensei's brother was the season's present big bad. Family drama wasn't new to the franchise at this point. However, seeing that the Ninja Storm Rangers' greatest nemesis was their Sensei's disgraced sibling was a new kind of twist. And since Lothar joined the dark side willingly, this was also a shocking case where redemption wasn't on the table.
What's the matter, nephew? You don't like reunions?
Say nephew?
Number 10. Bowen, Power Rangers Mystic Force.
Before he became a Ranger, Nick traveled the country never knowing who his real parents were and without a real sense of who he really was. Meanwhile, the Rangers' mentor Udana was separated from her baby Bowen years ago during the Great War.
So your son is alive? Somewhere?
Yes, somewhere.
Have you connected the dots yet? Yes, it turns out that Nick is actually Bowen, meaning that not only was he destined to be the Red Mystic Ranger, but also to become the light that can defeat the forces of evil once and for all. It's definitely not what Nick expected.
What are you saying?
You were with me all along and I never knew. It's truly magical.
But when the fighting's finally finished, the ending is all the sweeter for him being reunited with the family he never knew he had.
Ready?
Ready.
Number 9.
The Peace Conference, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers. In the original TV series, Jason, Zach, and Trini left the team in Season 2 to be part of a peace conference in Switzerland. It was basically just an excuse for the actors leaving the show.
Trini, Zach, and Jason, in your hearts you will always carry the spirit of the Power Rangers, but your destinies lie elsewhere. You have been chosen to help the world in a different way now.
The Boom Studios comics, however, add a clever twist to this infamous departure. There never was a peace conference. In reality, it was all a cover story concocted by the trio so they could leave on a new quest to protect the universe as the Omega Rangers. It can't have been an easy decision for the young heroes, especially lying to their teammates. But the lie was a necessary evil for the sake of the entire universe.
Ay, ay, ay. It's so sad that they're leaving.
Bye, you guys.
Yeah, Alpha, it is sad to see him go. But on the other hand, it's really exciting to have 3 new Power Rangers joining us.
Number 8. Frax's backstory, Power Rangers Time Force.
I wonder what Rancic would do if I told him what a coward you are. Actually, it would be quite enjoyable to watch him tear you limb from limb.
At first glance, Frax seemed just like another one of Rancic's goons, a mechanized genius frustrated with his master's disrespect for robots. However, there's a dark secret behind that metallic shell. Frax actually used to be human. He was once Dr. Ferrix, a kindly scientist who took pity on Rancic during his time of need. Tragically, Rancic rewarded the Doctor by mortally wounding him and stealing his technology.
I was injured beyond hope, barely alive. With my life fading fast, there was only one way I knew to survive. I wouldn't have made it had I remained in my human form, so I rebuilt myself using the technology I had pioneered.
Ferrix survived and managed to rebuild himself into the robotic mad scientist we know today, secretly planning his ultimate revenge on the mutant that destroyed his life and dragged him into the vicious cycle of hatred and despair. Even more tragically, Frax's story only gets worse from there.
Nadira, wait! Wait, I was wrong! You don't have to hate! You can break the cycle of hatred! Never give up! Never!
Number 7.
The 1969 Rangers, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. In the Boom Studios comics, we're introduced to Grace Sterling, CEO of Promethea and an unexpected ally for the Rangers. It turns out that she has a bit of history with Zordon as his original Red Ranger. Back in 1969, she and 4 others were chosen for a mission to thwart the Green Psycho Rangers' evil scheme on the moon. While Psycho Green was dealt with, it came with a heavy cost. Grace was one of the only 2 Rangers to make it out of the mission alive. This early experiment became one of Zordon's biggest regrets, but it nonetheless inspired Grace to keep fighting for the greater good, even if it means walking into some morally gray areas.
Number 6.
Dillon's sister, Power Rangers RPM. Because of his amnesia, Dillon's past is a complete mystery to him, except for one vague, haunting memory. Before his Ranger days, Dillon had a blind sister who he swore to protect. But they were separated trying to escape from Venjix, given cybernetic implants, and had their respective minds wiped.
Shall I initiate the upload on subject D44?
Of course. Take his memories.
What's even more shocking is who turns out to be his sister. Venjix's human infiltration bot, Tenaya 7.
Where did you get that?
You remember. It belongs to us. You're my sister.
When she learned the truth, she was even more shocked than the fans, as she didn't even know she was human.
DNA match confirmed. Sample is from subject G78. Sibling DNA match confirmed. Sample is from subject D44.
Tenaya 7 tried to deny the truth, and Venjix tried to wipe out everything she learned through brainwashing. But the past never stays buried forever.
Are you crazy? Why would you protect her?
Because she's my sister.
Number 5. Amelia's parents, Power Rangers Dino Fury. Since we first met her, Amelia was fascinated by the paranormal. It turns out her obsession for the supernatural came from the fact that her parents went missing when she was younger.
Mom and Dad?
Your mom and dad?
Yeah. This folder contains everything I know about what happened to them.
But the mystery was solved in an extremely unexpected way. First of all, it turned out that Amelia is an alien who was separated from her parents as a baby.
If we don't make it out in time, promise you'll keep her safe.
And who are her parents? As it turns out, she was the daughter of the deadly villains Void Knight and Void Queen. The poor couple was once trapped on Earth and forced to give up their only child. As a result, Void Queen vowed vengeance on all of humanity. The twist was subtly built up and felt extremely satisfying when it was unveiled.
You're my mom.
Number 4. The Ultimate Sacrifice, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. Although the Rangers are typically regular humans underneath their suits, fans always felt like the heroes were invincible. But Lost Galaxy changed all the rules. In a shocking scene, Pink Ranger Kendricks heroically sacrificed herself to save all of Terra Venture. Behind the scenes of the show, the actress playing the Ranger, Valerie Vernon, was diagnosed with leukemia. She ended up being written off the show so she could focus on treatment. Thankfully, the actress recovered, and Kendricks was miraculously resurrected in the finale.
I knew you'd make it here. Kendricks!
But the Rangers' original demise reminded viewers that not even the greatest heroes will always make it home alive.
I'm okay. I'll always be here.
Number 3. Meet Project Venjix, Power Rangers RPM.
When Dr. K discovered Alphabet Soup's true nature, she planned to shut them down with a self-aware computer virus, Project Venjix. Unfortunately, she was interrupted before she could install a proper firewall.
No! You have to let me install the firewall to stop it! Our Venjix will spread beyond Alphabet Soup!
This enabled Venjix to spread like wildfire and plunge the world into an apocalypse. Kay's backstory is nothing short of tragic. She was abducted by a corrupt government facility as a child, and forced to live with the fact that she accidentally created the ultimate doomsday device in her efforts to escape.
You know what could be really fun in the meantime?
You could try cracking this series of encrypted rocket codes.
Thankfully, rather than mope, she instead chooses to fight back with humanity's last line of defense, the RPM Power Rangers.
What happened?
What just happened is that I entered the base code for the Venjix virus. I know it because I wrote it. I'm the one who released it. Everything that's happened, everything you've all been through, it's all my fault.
Number 2. Evox's Dark Past, Power Rangers Beast Morphers. With his master plan underway, Evox decides to reveal his origin to the Rangers. When Nate was a child, he experimented with Morphex and Snake DNA on a certain cell shift morpher.
That DNA became part of my data, and I was released into your system. A dead end for you, a new beginning for me.
This meant that not only did Nate inadvertently create Evox, but Evox is actually the final evolution of the Venjix virus.
I was
Vengeance!
This finally gave us a resolution to the cliffhanger in the RPM finale, confirming that Venjix was in fact still alive and now even deadlier than ever. Coupled with the cruel irony of Nate having accidentally unleashed their greatest enemy, this makes for two huge twists in one.
Thanks to you, the entire world is at my mercy, and there's nothing you can do to stop me!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into Settings and switch on your notifications. Number 1. Andros and Astronema, Power Rangers in Space. When Andros was a child, Darkonda kidnapped his sister, Karone. But the Red Ranger never gave up hope of one day finding her. Years later, he finally did, but not as he expected.
Can't believe this.
What are you talking about?
You're Karone, my sister.
Karone?
She was found and raised by Ecliptor into the Princess of Evil, Astronema. Not only is this the first major Ranger villain family plot twist, but it also explores a concept barely explored until this point, that not all Power Ranger villains are born evil. Some of them were never given the choice.
And something tells me my brother's alive.
Astronema, do not be distracted. Remember, you are the Princess of Evil.
Fortunately, once Karone is freed from evil's influence, twice, she finally gets the chance to choose her own path and make up for all the wrongs she's committed.
It's me, Leo.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.